On this side, Atlantic salmon, European eel, North American sturgeon. Big, commercially important, well studied. Their ups and downs shape the headline.
Welcome back to the Aquatic News Network, where the pixels are punchy and the science is splashy. Today's quest: micromorph mayhem
Zordon, they've done it! They made the metamorphosis!
in the phytoplankton realm. Let's get right into this, Tommy. What do you say?
That's right, Jesse. These aren't your grandma's pond scum. We're talking about shape-shifting, trait swapping, predator-dodging plankton that would make Mystique from X-Men jealous.
Sounds right, Tommy. New research out of the Czech Republic dropped like a rare loot chest. Scientists tracked 74 phytoplankton lineages in a peat bog lake using eDNA and trait-based analysis. That's neat. But as it turns out, these little guys can change their whole community structure in just a few days.
Days, Jesse? Not weeks? Not seasons? Days? That's faster than I rage quit Battletoads in 92.
And they're not just changing outfits, they're swapping whole strategies. Some go from floaty and fragile to armored and stealthy, depending on who's hunting them. It's like watching a Mega Man boss evolve mid-fight.
Predators like water fleas, the tiny crustaceans with big appetites, are one trigger, but the environment's got cheat codes too. Wind speed, silica levels, even light penetration. It's like the lake itself is running a randomized dungeon.
You know, Tommy, every time we do these episodes, I learn so much. I absolutely love doing this news cast with you because every time I learn something amazingly new. And the viewers would too. If they watch this video from the beginning to the end, you're going to not just get humor and fun, but above all, education. If you watch our videos and go back and watch them all, you're truly going to learn some educational stuff here that'll stick with you for the rest of your life. And if you don't do it, then you. And the scientists didn't just yell eyeball it. They used high-frequency sampling and DNA sequencing to track who's in the microbial mosh pit. Think Pokedex, but for the invisible warriors.
Now here's where it gets wild. These shifts aren't just cosmetic. They change how nutrients cycle, how light moves through the water, and how energy flows up the food chain. It's like swapping out the motherboard mid-game.
Or like the Thing. But instead of paranoia and flamethrowers, we got chlorophyll and silica. Still spooky, still shape-shifty.
Trait-based ecology is the name of the game here. Instead of naming every species like a roll call, scientists look at what traits are in play, like size, shape, armor, or movement style. It's like building a team in Final Fantasy based on stats, not names.
I don't know. We'll have to get back to it next time. I don't know. And when the trait shifts fast, the whole ecosystem plays differently. Imagine a pond that goes from stealth mode to berserker mode in 48 hours. That's what these plankton are doing.
Which means if you're studying lakes, ponds, or even your backyard bog, you've got to respect the micro meta. These plankton aren't passive. They're reactive, strategic, and downright clever.
But what's the final boss here? What's the final thought? They're not just surviving, they're optimizing. And they're doing it faster than most players can hit continue.
So, next time you dip a net into the water, remember, you're entering a battlefield of biochemical brilliance. And the plankton, they're already 3 moves ahead.
And that's game. Stay pixelated, stay curious, and keep your goggles fog-free. This has been the Aquatic News Network, where the facts are deep and the vibes are neon.
Hey Aquanauts, Tommy here, and today we're plunging into one of freshwater science's most jaw-dropping stats. An 85% collapse since 1970. Is it doom and gloom for every gill, or a story more subtle? Strap on your data snorkel, we're going deep. You've seen it everywhere. Freshwater fish down 85%, but what exactly does that number measure? Full extinction? Local die-offs? Nope, it's an average drop in abundance for a selected group of monitored populations. Think of it like your bank account statement. You might see 85% if a handful of big withdrawals happen, but that doesn't mean every account out there is empty. The Living Planet Index, or LPI, tracks hundreds of individual fish populations, mainly migratory species like salmon, eel, and sturgeon. Each starts at a base value of 100 in 1970. By 2020, the average of those bars drops to about 15 to 20. That 60 to 80 point drop is dramatic, but it's only for the populations we've been watching closely, not every species in every stream. On this side, Atlantic salmon, European eel, North American sturgeon. Big, commercially important, well studied. Their ups and downs shape the headline. But this glowing minnow in a remote Amazon tributary, it's MIA in the dataset. Thousands of lesser-known species don't contribute to that 85% figure. For instance, Latin America and Caribbean migratory fish, roughly a 90% average decline. Europe, shaped as a roughly 75% average decline, and North America at 35% average decline. Asia and Oceania, 25% average decline. See how dramatic it is in Latin America versus Asia? That gradient tells us where conservation dollars for policies could pivot for the biggest impact. Blocked migration routes from dams, pollution from agriculture and factories, overfishing and spawning runs, habitat loss, and invasive species. These aren't just stats, they represent fragmented rivers and compromised ecosystems. But there's hope tucked in those same stories. Whenever a dam comes down or pollution controls kick in, we see populations rebound. On Washington's Elwha River, removing 2 dams in 2011 triggered one of North America's biggest restoration victories. Chinook and coho salmon are now running free once again. Fish ladders targeted harvest limits during spawning and riverbank reforestation. These are the real-world tools turning decline curves upward. But let's bust some myths. 85% means almost all freshwater fish are gone, when in reality, 85% is the average decline for monitored populations, not a global extinction rate. Myth number 2. No one's doing anything about it. Well, in reality, countless community groups, scientists, and policymakers are busy restoring rivers right now. So, next time you see 85% collapse, remember the data's specific scope. Know what you're measuring, and you'll know how to make a difference. If you want to dive deeper, explore the IUCN Red List for species-level trends. You could also download your local river basin health report, volunteer or donate to restoration projects in your area. So, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and drop us a comment. What river or species should we spotlight next? Until then, stay curious and keep swimming beneath the surface. Good morning, fellow abyssal aficionados. I'm Tommy, your one fin short of a typing hand correspondent, coming to you from the mesopelagic zone, where the pressure's high, the light's low, and the fish look like rejected cartoons from the Family Learning Channel. Today's top story, a creature so strange it makes your Uncle Randy's taxidermied ferret look downright pedestrian. I'm talking about the barrel-eyed fish, Macropina microstoma. The original deep-sea peeping Tom with a head so transparent it's basically running Windows ME. Now, let's get ocular. This fish has eyes like twin green Pringles cans jammed into a clear gelatinous dome, like someone shrunk wrap a lava lamp and gave it a license to creep. These tubular peepers point straight up. Yes, up. So it can spy on jellyfish silhouettes drifting overhead. But, plot twist, When it's time to chow down, these eyes rotate forward like a submarine periscope doing a double take. It's the Terminator meets Mr. Magoo. And speaking of chow, let's talk food chain. The barrel-eyed fish isn't top dog, it's no bottom feeder either. It's the middle manager of the deep, quietly judging plankton from its cubicle in the twilight zone. It dines on zooplankton, tiny crustaceans, and jellyfish bits. Like a picky toddler at a seafood delight. Think of it as the Dwight Schrute of the ocean.
Question. Where can I put my terrarium? What the hell is a terrarium?
Efficient, unsettling, and probably keeping a spreadsheet of your failures. Now, in terms of diversity, this fish is a bit of a loner. So far, Macropina microstoma is the only confirmed species in its genus. It's found mostly in the Pacific Ocean, especially off the coast of California. Because, of course, it's a West Coast weirdo. It belongs to the Opisthoproctidae family, which sounds like a spell from Harry Potter, but it's actually a gang of transparent-headed misfits, basically the Addams family of fish. But what's the point of this fish, you ask? God didn't just throw spaghetti at the wall here. That clear dome isn't just for show, it's a protective bubble shielding those delicate eyes from jellyfish stings and floating debris. The upward facing eyes let it scan the ceiling for snacks while its body stays horizontal like a lazy submarine. It's the James Bond of gelatinous espionage, minus the tuxedo and martini. Though, let's be honest, if it had a martini, it'd probably just stare at it awkwardly. And here's a fun fact that'll make your eyebrows do the Macarena. Scientists first described the fish in 1939, but didn't realize its eyes rotated until 2009. That's 70 years of deep sea gaslighting. It's been lurking in the shadows, keeping secrets like it's auditioning for Twin Peaks, Abyss Edition. Its mouth, by the way, is fixed in a permanent meh expression, like it just heard your mixtape and isn't impressed. It's often found near bioluminescent jellyfish, using their glow like a deep sea flashlight. Basically, it's crashing the rave without paying the cover, floating through the crowd like a glow stick ghost. And while it may not be winning any beauty contest, it's living its best life in the Twilight Zone. Literally. So, what have we learned? Today, folks? The barrel-eyed fish is the Wally of the waves, the cousin It of the abyss, and the Steve Buscemi of the brine. It's got style, stealth, and a skull that doubles as a science fair project. And while it may not be the prom queen of the deep, it's definitely the weird kid with the coolest backpack. That's all for today's broadcast. I'm Tommy signing off from the deep, reminding you if you're feeling watched,
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
it might be this fish, or your neighbor with the telescope. Either way, keep your snacks close and your dome clearer than your conscience.